A new craze is taking over on Breeze. Astra is being played on the map. A couple lower level teams have innovated a way to play Astra on Breeze along with Viper, but XSET has actually started doing it and they've put their own spin on it as well. So that's what we're gonna watch today. So I did want to go over the broad composition ideas in the first place. They have KO and then they have Sova. That's the main ways that they're gonna be droning and taking space in front of the Viper wall of Aaron. But the thing that they're missing is the Sentinel, right? So they don't have a passive flank watcher, I guess, in this sense, but they will get more execute power because they have the Astra. Okay, so for pistol round, they throw a little bit of the default utility. One of the things is that they play this a lot throughout this tournament, so they had VODs already. So they had to change up their pistol rounds. This one specifically didn't go that great, but they did have other ones against NRG and Knights that they played in the final that were really, really nice. They basically go for some of their default utility here and they start to farm Zekin's orbs, which I think is important later on because a lot of their executes end up being null command executes, which work really well. Secondly, the way that they are layering actually the Viper smoke and the Astra smoke is going to be a theme that we look at over and over. Not only on their attack side, we're not going to watch the defense side, but for example, on defense, they try to have 100% uptime in key areas for smokes. And for their attack side, it's them walking down halls. They want that to be covered at all times. So yeah, so after they take orb, BCJ actually checks close. And then one thing that they do as Janitor flashes in, so this is actually going to cancel. BCJ is falling back right now to a way, way deeper position because they did spot KO with the knife and he hasn't used this yet. You can still see it's up. He pop flashes in. He's trying to avoid that drone getting canceled because that's what they want to do right now. With the wall, they want to drone up and take the site. Then this Gravwell, as they commit to this fight, look how hard the new Breeze walls are making this angle and how much value you can get out of a Gravwell right here. This is Janitor's by himself. You might think that, yeah, this jet's going to be able to get in, but with this Gravwell here, he just absolutely can't. So they're able to trade that really well. This is where it starts to fall apart. So I just wanted to show that Gravwell is actually something that they use as a default to deter the entire time. Here, it looks like they wanted to actually have a little bit more stars when they tried to drone out, potentially, you know, starring back here, something like that for Gravwells. Okay, so they lost the pistol round and they're going into a flight force here on the second round. And I want to note how when they come out through mid, this is like a pretty decent path here for Cryo with his Marshall. But look at where BCJ is playing in regards to watching this A push. He's playing so far back. They're giving so much space because that's kind of what they have to, right? If they spread too thin, they don't have the trips that other teams do in their comp. They knife off the close angle that checks a Hall's push. It also mostly checks the double doors push. This ends up not being like a spectacular round, just a crazy round from Zekin and no tactical craziness at all. I mean, BCJ's right now clearing with a dart and they're walking up mid, right? Cryo gets up into nest. I do like what he does where he just basically stays in nest while the rest of the team walks up in through tunnel. Almost gets him a kill. It could have gotten him a kill, and definitely these opportunities that you are looking for. I love how Renz peeks that though. I think the best part about this, obviously Zekin gets a 4K with a sheriff, but the best part about this is the final setup. When both players are coming through tunnels, it's so difficult for them once BCJ tucks into this corner and Zekin has control of the half wall because they don't know Zekin could be peeking from this side, they could be peeking from this side, but BCJ is just a constant threat. And it's just a crossfire that is really, really hard to get through without any sort of utility. And Renz has already spent his dart and whatnot. So yeah, very nice from XSET. The way that they play this, just jiggling off each other and just keeping them back as far as possible. And the shock darts come. Zekin's peeking with it with a flash too. Like just a good end round setup. All right, and with that round, we actually have a B execute coming really fast. I mentioned the no commands. He grabbed an orb on pistol round, but also I want to mention just by default these stars. This is one in halls and one at the front. This is what I was talking about with the Gravwell, just deterring everybody, right? Back to the original Astra meta of like, let's put a star on the barrier so that they can't take that original space. So they walk up, and I do want to note, as the stars go down, one in the back corner and one kind of an auxiliary smoke. Basically, the smoke is a failsafe in tunnels, right? Once the wall goes down, or if it goes down, or Aaron dies or something like that. But I also want to note how he threw the Viper wall. A lot of people in ranked right now, I don't know why. Actually, I'm guilty of this myself. They're just throwing it like straight vertically like this. But notice how this gets covered on elbow. This helps if anybody's holding from back here, anybody pushing the elbow, just makes that decay happen. The other thing is he puts this star in the corner, and you're going to see XSET be fantastic at clearing whole sections of sites with utility. Note how Cryo updrafts into his smoke because he's trying to actually avoid the decay. There's either a poison orb here or a wall, a Viper wall. He wants to avoid the decay here and also get lines of sight very easily into all different places. But yeah, he got Gravwelled. He's getting pushed off the side. There's a recon bolt hitting. I mean, so many different things. And then there's also a layered knife too. That's probably overkill, but either way, what can you do if you're jerk? This is a cool angle from Def too. because yes, you can peek out and clear this from nest, but most of the time you're gonna be dropping down. If you're just swinging your shoulder, you're getting exposed to so many different places, so you're not clearing this angle, and Def can easily get some damage done on somebody while being safe from literally everything. Okay, so this ends up being a pretty normal default round, but it is going to show the importance of this hall smoke, and also how Aaron can now spend his smoke not necessarily on halls. Usually your Viper has to, if you're defaulting, throw a smoke into halls. Oh, and then the other thing here is how BCJ dart mid, and then immediately they're all running over this way. The knife close again, paired with the suck, makes this very difficult for you to get into cave at all. Yeah, the dart is nice to me because this is such a common play to walk down mid, walk down elbow or something like that. It's not going to catch Calypso, but they know that mid's clear now, and that's at least, you know, if this dart pulses out, that's at least 10 seconds that nobody can be in mid. This is what I'm talking about. He just put another star down to re-smoke, and this is actually covering the angle over here. If there was somebody playing in front of the smoke inside the door or whatever, if they open the door, you can still walk up. I did want to come back here real quick and show when the dart lands, 131. So they know 40 seconds until the next knife. And that's the thing that you have to pay attention to, because this is now a timing that XSET can use, and they will. You actually see Cryo immediately start to go over towards halls, and he's going to join him. They're going to A-split with the wall. But the important thing here is that BCJ walks up and drones for much closer, and that could get so much more value because they know the timing. They know the next dart has to come. What was it, 33 that he threw it? The next knife is coming at 53, right? That's very important. And again, a re-smoke. He did it again. Like, I mean, yeah, just see how much more value you can get there. This door opens, you get to kill, and they're getting pressured from both sides. As the drone is coming, the door is opening. The other thing too is that Def stayed back right here at the beginning when the door opened, and he was holding the smoke for Cryo. So that's why actually Renz doesn't realize this. You might watch this and be like, oh, there's no chance. Like, they didn't come. Like, what the hell? But realistically, it's because they only saw Cryo. So they said one door, and that's why he's not paying attention there. He's trying to help from the pressure that Tekken is applying at the same time while he's flashing through, right? And it's not just a flash through, it's also Viper peeking through at the same time too. I mean, it's just so difficult to hold. Yeah, so this round actually goes a little poorly. Aaron misses his Viper orb, and he has to spend some time going up here, and Janitor does the dumbest shit I've ever seen. Just running SMG with a health flash into, I mean, it's not dumb, don't get me wrong. Abuse the SMG all you can. They do start off poorly. I want to show now the power that you actually still have. Obviously, BCJ, not as critical as the Viper on this map, 4 versus 5, and whenever they want, they could take B, like whenever they want. These stars, the stun and the suck, make this so difficult. And Aaron joining in with the wall as well. I mean, look, Jerk, like, he gets stuck in front of the grab wall, so he can't go back. And then they have the ults to layer on top of it. And things like this, too. Like, you just get so unconfident when there's just many different layers of utility being put down. Okay, so again, they knife close. They suck close as well. This keeps the Viper from getting any more space with their ults. And this becomes actually pretty interesting. And this is actually so cool from Reformed. So the way this dart lands, I didn't get the pause right, but lands up in the gap of the top of the cave. And I mean, because of the Viper spit now, they think they're safe, but then the dart lands and Jerk gets 2 with this little combo. XSET still win this round though, after losing 2 people in cave early. Cryo and BCJ dead. Def does get a kill on them pushing B, which, you know, makes sense. Here's what you can use the Astra wall for, and this is a fake that helped to throw. Yeah, he ends up getting the 1 kill, but forgetting about the fact that he could flank this way. The rest of XSET gets timinged, and Janitor does work on them. But yeah, this is something that you just can't do as Viper, unless you are somehow saving your orb. He puts down a star, and then he could use it as a transition smoke, right? As this drone comes in, he pops it, goes into it, and now he could peek out in ways that you really don't expect. I mean, that's just ridiculous. And he escaped. Really well played clutch from Def. The tap comes in, he waits, peeks, nobody there. I mean, just clinically played from Def. Nothing really to comment on other than the transition smoke, and the timing is just too good. Cool. I always have a favorite moment from any of these VOD reviews, and this is my favorite round. They start off with their mid control that and they throw a knife up here to clear to check whether they're pushing elbow, and then they throw a dart close double doors. Because of the way that they play this mid, it plays it like they drone through mid, they actually pressure up the door, they break the knife, and because they're pressuring through door, they have to play over back towards this and actually challenge a little bit on these angles. The rest of this round is beautiful. So they're pressuring with the orb and the smokes and halls again, and he actually stuns and sucks back. Let me actually put it on the mini map. Stun sucks off. He puts a grab well on stairs and then also stuns back yellow, and that forces them with the grab well off of stairs and into this really, really confined position. But look at how they contain them with this wall. Now they've got a 1v1 here because, again, they pushed them off of stairs. They pushed them over towards yellow, and specifically because of the way that they're fighting through mid. And now the beauty happens. Really nothing for Rents to do in a 1 versus 4, basically, at that point. And shock mollies, baby. 1 shock, 1 molly, and Janitor's just dead. And again, I want to stress this. The fact that they're forcing them over here to fight through door, and then afterwards, they're forcing them off the stairs into this position. All the utility there was so well placed to put them in spot that it's going to work. Plus this very unconventional Viper wall as well to keep them contained in that position, not wanting to push past and actually retake space is so nice from XSET. Just really, really nice. Okay, so another really cool round here. They act like they're going for their B hit. Exactly the same way, right? The tunnel smoke. They have star in the corner, the star over here. That's going to be a grab well and stun. And it looks like, by all means, they're going to be hitting the same exact thing. The cool part, though, is that they use this utility once again to force them out. And there's a dart coming here and a knife coming here that will clear those positions or get what they actually want done, which is to try to tag somebody with the dart, and they could ult him and potentially get a free kill. While everything else is happening, they actually think it's a B hit, right? And they're just walking up halls. This is a really, really nice way to pull them around and potentially get some free kills. And Cryo actually almost gets one right here. Renz is just completely jumping across halls. No smoke down, by the way. Not an orb, not a star, nothing like that, because the B hit's coming on, and that's when Cryo's walking up. So doesn't get the kill. How do you recover in a situation like this where you've lost so much space in halls? You thought that they were hitting B. Now you've left A. They could be pushing out a cave. Like, there's so many things that could be happening right now for Reform that they have to pay attention to, that I actually think that they end up getting a little lost in this position. Though I like what Janitor does, which is just opens up the door and takes a fight. That's pretty ballsy. But these are the types of plays you kind of have to play when you bite that hard on a fake. And still, XSET makes the right decision. As BCJ gets across, he realizes that Chemicals was out in the open and they've lost a lot of mid control. He drones. Yeah, Calypso gets caught down here with the drone, and they hit him with a new ability, venting. And then there's just one more layer to this all. I mean, Aaron doesn't have to be the only thing holding this entire line of sight off. You actually have a better one. And the way that this half wall works now gives you so, like, if you're not pushing through this area, Zekken has free reign on site. And this is not an angle that you're very used to. So a lot of the changes are double-edged. You might think some of them are defensive-sided. Yes, they are a buff to certain defensive setup, but also you can use them on attack side as well. Okay, so we go into a pretty fast A-take. Reformed is trying to play a close crossfire. The problem is that they have the drone to deal with, and Chemicals has to peek. They break whatever crossfire they would have had anyways with this dash from Cryo, and he spots, while he's dashing the left side, he swings out, spots him on the left, and then they double swing. From here and here. It's basically a crossfire that they set up with the jet dash, and they just push out. Cry actually thinks that he killed them and almost makes that really awkward, but this is the layer of extra utility that you just don't have with other compositions. Ravel again on yellow. They could probably be shock darting this at the same time, but they're also smoking here for any more pushes, right? That extra layer of smoking reminds me of Fnatic's Bind when it first came out, just the amount of extra smokes behind the Viper walls. And I also love this. This is what I was talking about. Another smoke here for BCJ allows him to freely lurk into the water and catch final kill of this round. Really, really cool. Another stun back yellow forces him off of that position. And this, yeah, this is what I was talking about, right? He could do this. He could do this. Not only would bridge be smoked, but before it was just what, like, you know, the little box over here and this, and you're exposed to the people coming out through CT. Once again, a way that you could use these changes as an attacker. Works really, really nice. The timing worked out great there. Calypso, if he was still on top of the stairs, would have taken out BCJ. But yeah, back to actually back towards their execute on B with the null command. Updraft dash again, just in case there's a decay, and you get more vision. And yeah, put down the Viper Spit too. I think this round shows a little bit of how difficult it is to retake if you're anybody playing against XSET, because you could be playing this so many different ways. You could be playing close up on site. You could be pop flashing through the wall, right? You could be playing in a Viper's Pit like they are this round. You could be playing post plant. We saw in their game against Knights, they actually had a sick pistol where Aaron had lineups And then they had the grab well, and they had a KO nade on top of it. Like, so difficult to actually deal with the post-plant situation with this comp as well. Just get that much more of a threat than the regular comp. Obviously, this one they're playing in the Viper's Pit, but they have to kind of still push to try to get down the grab well, to try to get down. Maybe Aaron fell back. I mean, there's so many different possibilities and ways that they could be playing this. And oftentimes the threat is better than the execution. So here you think, like, for example, Janitor, why is he pushing this? Why aren't they just trying to clear the Viper's Pit? Because maybe they're playing post-plant. Maybe they're playing lineups. You know, this type of thing is very dangerous, and that's why he has to make plays like that. And then he gets pulled off, and it's a little awkward, but you know, it all works out. It all works out. That was XSET on Breeze with Astra, which might be the new meta. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, because I think we're gonna see more of this. I honestly do. So Radiant with Trainer as coach, and the rest of the players with their no duelists, Astra, Viper on Breeze, and Sonic's also playing Astra Viper on Breeze, has brought this up to a significant play rate in lower tier tournaments. So maybe other teams will start to bite. And XSET has always been an unconventional team on Breeze. I mean, maybe not recently, but you know, when Breeze first came out, they were running double Sentinel, right? Yeah, they were playing Killjoy Cypher on this map. Like, definitely out of the park weird stuff that XSET was thinking of. I mean, it's a little bit more conventional. I think this actually has some legs in the current meta, and XSET's playing it well. Obviously, they've gotten really good on Breeze and taking down some pretty good teams on their way to their challengers run. And then they won the Winter Championship as well. So good start to the year for XSET, and we'll see them in challengers. Guys, hope you liked the video. If you did, please like, subscribe, and do all the things on my social media. We'll be back with more content just like this. And also, I am going to be casting and on the analyst desk for the VCT Challenger circuit. So make sure you tune into that and check it out. Peace.